ka say Pope Leo what so say as a can say Pope or that Catholic sorry no no ne won se ma ba beto e mountain so say what dia chelpa ama me can say the blacks efa the history woman so play ye slave trade no emu esanse and say abetoja say President John Dramani Mahama seek reparation say woman compensate ye ane ayakayaka omudi afemu atete eni ade omudi afemu ye nanana no eniema ama ya hwere because of that slave trade no womo encompensate omo pataye na eno na Pope Leo the 14th ono so de ababe tuja enti wo sha Ose Pope Leo the 14th apologizes for church's historic role in slavery. In the say ye call abakosemu a na womo nso womo ye niema bi de boa ya ma slave trade no emu ehye den na emu egina brane wo krodue mu hanum say ya enu nti no bia ye beka ne say ama development in the African continent no are very slow any other there whole lot of effects and aba in the light of President John Dramani Mahama seeking for reparation, seeking for compensation for blacks no wono so de a chopper aba na chopper no de buy no some of the US for no are reacted to it na many waka say American Don Lemon aba bonten abe kasa e de afa ho a wochemu said this is the first time a pope apologize and kamia say wama amampani ahodo a wo mo aba wo US no bebre na wo mani ewu because see that it has never happened but enti ehwemu anache say Pope Leo the 14th wo no the first pope wetimi render apology with regards to slave trade no contribution na Catholic Church no so make here now yenko tie nsemu don de etudwa na yeba ya to ansem no so de amamo.
The Pope just did what America has never done, never had the guts to do, and put every American president to shame. Pope Leo just apologized for the Vatican's own role in slavery. The popes who gave European kings permission to enslave people, he called it a wound in Christian memory. And this man has both enslaved people and slave owners in his own family history. The first American pope on Memorial Day did what no pope has ever done before, and what no American president has ever done either. Pope Leo is built different, and America needs to take note. What exactly is our excuse? Follow and subscribe to the Don Lemon Show on YouTube and Substack.
Abusia for na chese we ya basobodi Don Lemon de Emma Pope Leo say e bin see that American Pope bi anyone no ma watimi aye de Pope Leo aye, and this is even showing say Pope no kretimi agi atumu say bone ana say the President John Dramani can say that is the gravest crime against humanity na Pope nso atimi agi atumu na who is the president in US Obeka said Debbie say ade no enye it is kind of cementing President John Dramani's proposal what they call UN that we should be compensated yen pataye we de omudi ya fa muga na hampo de otimi say na no ade beto dwa say okọ asantememu a ye gudie binom ne ade nyina ekoko free the western world because of this whole slavery so no emu enti with that no na chese it's more or less like a good thing cemented yen proposal yede echo UN no ninyina no through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ghana ya reacted to Pope Leo ni apologies what they aba efa slavery no ehun. So as you can see on the screens, way free the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or say Ghana welcomes His Holiness Pope Leo the 14th apology on the historical role of the Holy See in the transatlantic slave trade. And say Ghana yaje Pope Leo na chelpa no yaje no awa too. Now yesha nsem ni mu a wose Ghana Accra 26 May 2026. The government of the Republic of Ghana warmly welcomes the historic statement by His Holiness Pope Leo the 14th acknowledging and apologizing for the role played by the Holy See in legitimizing and sustaining the enslavement of Africans, and the Pope of Africans and the transatlantic slave trade. The statement represents an act of moral courage on the part of the Pope and an important contribution to the ongoing global pursuit of historical truth, human dignity, and justice. International say Pope no na sema waba beka say slave trade the course no womun so play part in it ma ye de before including Ghana efa yakayaka mu ni atete mu no yade ana entwa yie na ne nsem na wabeka no beboa ama sese ensem kan ya ekoso ewo wiase afa na nyina UN summit na say President Ghana Yema Mpani John Dramani Mahama edi animu kan no kire pa say ewo se enya atentenene edi ema nipa ye de omo efa sa ateti we nyina emu na o say Ghana recognizes His Holiness Pope Leo XIV's long-standing commitment to service, compassion, and dignity of the human person. Enti we che ampa Pope Leo wotema edimanipa we nyame nipa ampa we hu se de course no after so many years no ade a se be entwa ye. Now also throughout his work he has advanced principles of social justice, solidarity with the vulnerable, dialogue across communities, and moral responsibility in responding to the challenges of our changing world. International say wo Pope ni dwumadie mu no wo de niema egugu akwamu a che say ukọ emiaya ye de obuo ebema nipa se be ye de odo ene ye de betena ena afen so hwemu a eniema a ekoso wo wiase afan na ya entwa yie no ye betimi ede atoto ne kwan so na bibia akoso totin. Now we shall say for 5 centuries millions of Africans and people of African descent endured unimaginable suffering and dehumanization through systems of racialized chattel enslavement whose effects continue to shape societies and communities across the world today. Enti chiremwa emre bebre ni abesin kono ebibi mai nipa mu ahodo ene ye de omo afa tetimu ye de omo afa yakayaka mu enam racial system and away or ye black and away where ye bibini and away or ye say and away abesi ene sa de ne da so a ewo ho a etete eye nipa or say honest recognition of this painful history remains an essential step towards healing, reconciliation, and more just future. Enti wo hwemu anache so mu kyeremu asansem we ya Pope edi abetodwa se wo pache ono etremu se wadi nokre se kwan omodi nipa fa so no ana se bibi fo fa so no na ade a entwa yie ena afen so kwan bi asebe ebema ya abotoye mu ama ya odie biye we yemu no etimi free yemu na afe entiase etimi aye adwuma. Se Ghana considers this acknowledgement particularly significant at a time when the international community is undertaking deeper reflection on the historical consequences of slavery and colonialism. It reinforces the growing global understanding that confronting historical injustice demands truth-telling and moral responsibility as essential foundation for justice and reconciliation. Inti sabre ya Pope etimi abe kasano nijesem edema oman Ghana esan se ya mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ena champion nisa effect we inti se Pope beke bidia na te se ye nokre wose nyina yete ase aman ahodo a wo mpese wo beji atomu aman ahodo a na wo ho ebo mu bie no wo nyina be hu se de wo ye no editi ebibi man mu nipan Ghana kan hu bie no na ade a entwa ye inti ebraso so wo gitumu so wo ayemfom so de wo ye no entwa ye enti wo se ye de a chelpa ede ema ebibi man wo de wo FM no. So the recent adoption of the landmark resolution ARES 8250 by the United Nations General Assembly declaring the trafficking of enslaved Africans and racialized chattel enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity marked an important moment in this collective effort. The resolution affirmed the need to preserve historical memory and sustain international dialogue on justice, dignity, and equality for Africans and people of African descent. Inti sabre ya yeko UN ye den krata akoto ho se e wosi ye hwehwe mu ni agitu mu se slave trade no eye bone kese a etie nipa e wo wiase ye so no a pope nso de ne ho abegi mu no eye ade bi a e wo se ye nyina ye ma ya adwen koso na ye patent ne na afa ye timi ema nipa odo esan ebeda ye ntemu ebiem. Now see, Ghana notes that during negotiations on the resolution, questions relating to historical references concerning the role of the church, including references to papal bulls and related historical issues associated with the transatlantic slave trade, generated extensive discussions. Against this background, His Holiness Pope Leo XIV's apology is particularly significant and refreshing, as it demonstrates a willingness to confront difficult historical truths in the interest of justice, understanding, and reconciliation. In the Sabre, Wamo Ewune say Ghana for Yewune say Pope Leo na chopa wede abano. Aba brepemu papa esan se beboa ama ye nyina ye benya ye ho ntiase na ya behu no kre ne se ampa se slave trade no ye bone kese editie nipa wo se emra so se ye nyina aman ahodo ne nyina agitumu na ye pe ye atentenene de ema ebibiman wo dia we de yen efemu no emu. Now, see, as a nation deeply connected to the history and legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, with the most forts and castles along its coast standing as enduring reminders of one's humanity's darkest chapters, Ghana remains committed to working with international partners, faith communities, civil society, and peoples of conscience around the world to advance efforts aimed at historical justice, remembrance, and restoration of human dignity. In this abode, Ghana, the aircrado say ye ni adwumaku ahodo nsore eni ade enipa binum a wo mu gyetumu say slave trade no ade bi a ako etia ebibiman na ade entwa yie no wo ma ya krado si enu mu nyina ebeye ejuma. Now, in this regard, Ghana looks forward to welcoming the international community to Accra from 17th to 19th June 2026 for the high-level consultative conference being convened by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, on the next steps following the adoption of the resolution aimed at sustaining global engagement on historical justice, remembrance, and human dignity. It is also our hope and prayer that states which did not support the resolution would in the near future align with its objectives and join Ghana and the broader international community in advancing its effective implementation. And they say no, from 17th to 19th of June, yebenya eye jumekuo any organize in kwekua hodro any amai binumu impenifo mba be PM Ghana ha na fe yebebobo kwanya yebetimi afaso na eye proposal ya ye de akọ UN no wo betimi age atomu na yape atentenene ede ama ebibiman ne kwanya yebetimi afaso sesei na ensem netimi pushi agenda no akọ nanim enti omo tonsa afre aye enkonko ahodo omo support sa proposal we no so omo emeka ho ebie na aman binum a UN meeting na se omo de omo so omo nyintumu no ye hwe kwan se emre kwa nanim no omo ebetimi ede omo ntema abebo Ghana ye ntema mu. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama expresses his appreciation to His Holiness Pope Leo XIV for this significant step and look forward to continuing global engagement in promoting truth, healing, and a shared commitment to humanity. International mampeni nani esho pa se Pope Leo sabre yumu na wetimi ede na chopa no aba confirm say indeed the course so was slave trade no emu no yade na entwa yi kra. Now yemfin nsem we esho na yenko ensem for